When the greatest sports car event of the year, the Le Mans 24-hour race, opens in brilliant sunshine, none of the 250,000 crowd suspect the tragedy that lies ahead. The 60 starters are in their stride, thundering away to gain that early lead, which can mean so much in a mass start race such as this.
The 1955 Le Mans disaster is to this day the deadliest racing disaster to have ever occurred. 84 people were killed and 178 injured when two cars collided on the racetrack and crashed into the spectator stand at Le Mans Northwest France. There was great anticipation for the race at Le Mans, as the Ferrari, Jaguar, and Mercedes-Benz had all won the race recently and all arrived with new and improved cars. The Ferrari's current champions at the time were very fast but fragile. Jaguar concentrated their racing almost exclusively on Le Mans and had a very experienced driver lineup, including Formula One Ferrari driver Mike Hawthorne. One of the new improved cars in particular was made of a magnesium alloy manufactured by Mercedes-Benz. This car debuted its magnesium body in that year's World Championship. The car also lacked the more effective state-of-the-art disc brakes featured in the rival Jaguar D-Type, instead incorporating a large air brake behind the driver that could be raised to increase drag and slow the car. Safety measures that are nearly universal now were relatively unknown in 1955. Aside from two layout changes to make the circuit shorter, Le Mans circuit was largely unaltered since the inception of the race in 1923, when top speeds of the cars were typically at the region of 60 miles per hour. But by 1955, top speeds for leading cars were over 170 miles per hour. That said, the circuit had been resurfaced and widened post-World War II. The general layout of the pits and grandstands were reconstructed, but there were no barriers between the pit lane and the racing lane, and there was only a 4-foot earthen bank between the track and the spectators. The cars also had no seatbelts, although the drivers reasoned that it was preferable to be thrown clear from a car in a collision rather than to be crushed and trapped in a burning car. There are two key points to the track layout that contributed to the crash. First, there was no designated deceleration lane for cars coming into the pits, and second, just before the main straight, there was the slightest right-hand kink in the road just where cars were meant to brake. As a result, one driver named Macklin ran off the right edge of the track, throwing up dust. Macklin then tried to avoid Hawthorne, the driver of the new magnesium Mercedes. Whether it was an instinctive swerve from surprise, or a loss of control from going onto a different road surface, or even his car's disc brakes operating unevenly, as a result, Macklin's car veered across the center of the track out of control. This, however, put him in the path of another Mercedes-Benz, closing at over 120 miles per hour. The collision was devastating. When the cars attempted to avoid each other, they both slammed into the spectator stands, but Hawthorne's Mercedes-Benz broke apart and threw him and flaming magnesium shrapnel into a large group of onlookers. Magnesium is highly flammable, especially when powdered or shaved into thin strips. Though it's difficult to ignite in mass or bulk, flame temperatures of magnesium and magnesium alloys can reach the high of 5,610 degrees Fahrenheit. This accident was captured on film. The accounts put the death toll at 80 to 84, spectators plus one racer named Levi, either by flying debris or from fire. With a further 120 to 178 injured, other observers estimated the toll to be much higher. This event has remained the most catastrophic crash in motorsport history. A special mass was held in Le Mans Cathedral for the funerals of the victims.
Into the pits comes Reg Parnell's Lagonda while the field draws on. Peter Collins' Aston Martin, number 23, is among the British cars which are holding their own. Now Parnell's away again. All seems to be going smoothly when disaster strikes at 125 miles an hour. LeVay's Mercedes collides and blows up. In a few ghastly seconds, death wipes out whole families. LeVay is killed before his wife's eyes, and some 70 spectators with him.
I hope you enjoyed the first installment of the Horror Stories series. If you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments down below, and if you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like. I have a lot more stories like this one lined up to cover, but if you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you're new to my channel and you like what you just saw, make sure you subscribe so you can get my notification every time. And as always, we gotta thank the Patreon supporters, so thank you to Horror Star, Maria, The Caustic, Simon Possum, and Pro Cookie. Without their support, this channel wouldn't run as well as it does. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's two links in the description, one to my merch store and one to my Patreon. Both funds go right into the channel so I can maintain these uploads and make sure you guys are entertained. And as always, stay zesty.